Warning, I say knife a lot in this video. Please use a butter knife. Ask your parents' permission before crafting. Craft at your own risk. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's LiveBug and today it's 9 o'clock at night. But today I'm going to be showing you how to make an awesome and cool Play-Doh or clay nest. So let's get on to the video. Okay, so things you will need are a container of Play-Doh. I have already taken the Play-Doh out of it. The Play-Doh container, you don't need the lid, but you just need the container. You can use a knife, but I have this clay tool from a kit that has a poker and a knife. And you also need a nice flat surface. So the first thing you're going to do is roll the clay into a ball. Put it on there and then just press it down with your hands. Press it down as much as you can. Then you're going to use your hands to kind of stretch the clay just by doing it. Now you can use a rolling pin for this too, but I'm just going in with my hands and flattening it out as much as I can. Now don't make it too thin. Make it about 1/4 inch thick like you're making some cookies. And because you don't want it to be too thin, but if you do make it too thin, it's at the end of the world. So then with the top, then with your container, you're gonna take the top and press it down like you're cutting out cookies, like a cookie cutter. Just cut out as much as you can and try to conserve space. I'm just laying these at the top of my flat surface so I can use them later. Then I do the same thing again, just like you're making cookies or something. You re-roll the dough or Play-Doh that was the excess, then flatten that out and then cut it. And then cut our cookies out. Okay, so I only cut out 5 because you're going to be needing some of this for details, and I'm also going to show you how to make a bird. So I'm just going to set this excess off to the side. Then the first thing I'm going to do is take my thing. You can use a tad bit of water if you want to more easily stick it together. Before you start stacking them, pick one that's nice, thick, and smooth on the underneath side since it was on your flat surface. And choose that one and don't use it. Set it off to the side. So what you're gonna do to stack it is just set one down, put it to where this nice cool side that was on there, down to where the bumpy side is facing up, and try to line it up as much as possible, but do not smooth out the edges. We want to have those lines, and it's okay if it's a little uneven because that's a little bit better, and we can cut it off later. Then for the top piece, make it toward the glossy side or the side that's on a flat surface that's nice and flat up, and so it's very presenting. Now that you've done that, you're like, how are we gonna make a nest out of this? Take your Play-Doh container and take the bottom and just press it into the middle. And remove. Then see how it will have some curling maybe from the layers not sticking together properly, and that's why sometimes you want to use some water. You can easily just fold those down if it starts to curl around the cup or the Play-Doh container. And you can make it deeper using the Play-Doh container. Again, now that I have kind of shaped all of the edges. And now, since there is an indent on Play-Doh containers, what you can do with that indent is just flatten that out. Do not smooth those out. Now you can take a knife or toothpick and take it and just add a little bit of texture. Just add some horizontal and diagonal lines across. Just a few, very light. Don't do it very crazily and very deep. You just want very light details. Okay, there we go. So now I have my nest. This is a simple, easy nest. You can also, with your extra Play-Doh, you can make little branches coming out of that. So what you can do is just pinch off a small piece of Play-Doh, then roll it into a snake. You can roll it on your flat surface. Then if it's a little too long, you can cut it in half and make two now. And just add it on to the thing. If you want to make one that is like a triangle, you can make a little bit of a shorter one. Roll it a little bit more. I have a branch. You can make more branches, but I'm just gonna take it off for now because I don't really want it, but if that's what you want, you can totally do that. Now how to make a bird. I'm gonna set my nest off to the side because I don't need it anymore. And I'm just gonna take it and roll it into a thick snake. So about that thick, just to measure. And then we're gonna cut off around a quarter of your snake. Then you're going to take the big portion of your snake and roll it into a quick and easy ball. Then I'm just going to pinch it like that. Then pinch the upper part, then pinch the sides again until it gets to like a teardrop shape. And make sure it's not too pointy at things. We don't want it very pointy. Now, if you want to make wings, all you do is take a butter knife or a toothpick, and you can just make the little shape of a wing. But if you want to, you can get under it with your knife or toothpick and flap it up. But I'm not gonna do that, I'm just gonna put the lines. Okay, so now you're gonna take your other piece of clay and roll it into a ball. If it's not smooth, you can just smush it around until it's like a smooth piece. Try and roll it to a ball again until it's smooth. Then you're just gonna pinch a little piece off just like you did with the bigger one, but make it very tiny. This is going to be our beak. And then smooth out the sides a little bit. Then take your toothpick. You can also use a knife, it would just be very hard. That's why I have this. And just make two little eye holes. Now you can put little black pieces of clay in there, but I'm not going to. And you can also make feather detail that can stick out of there on the top of the head. And there's our little bird. Then you can put it in the nest, and if you have any extra clay, because you might have made maybe a small bird, then you can put some eggs in there too. So that's how you make a birded nest. So all you need basically is a jar of Play-Doh, which you can get for very cheap at your local grocery store usually. Just in the kids section, they usually have just a tiny bit of Play-Doh. And then you don't need a special thing, so you probably already have some toothpicks or a plastic butter knife or a regular butter knife just laying around your house. And then a flat surface, you can just use any table or anything. So basically, it's probably stuff you already had at home except for maybe the Play-Doh, but it's very cheap. Hope you guys like this video. Bye!